Hey guys, my name's Porsha Lauri. Welcome back to my channel, where today I've decided I'm going to be an emo kid for the day.
I'm an emo kid, not conforming as can be.
I'm going to be starting something a little bit different on my channel. Giving you another movie review, but with a twist. I want to do a series on my channel where I talk about dance movies, and I feel like there's not a whole lot of people on YouTube that are talking about them, so I thought I'd take the time to do that for you. But instead of doing one review per movie, I thought it'd be interesting to kind of compare movies together. With dance movies, it seems that most of them have almost the exact same plot line, but with different little dynamics. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to take different styles of dance movies and compare them with each other. If that sounds cool to you, do me a solid and drop a like on this video. If you guys like this enough, then I'll keep making more of these and it'll turn into a series, or so I hope. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you hit that bell next to it, you'll be notified every time I upload. Let's go ahead and boogie into it. I'll never do that again. It's not true. So to start off with a bang, I thought I'd compare two movies that I don't think most people would compare. I'm going to be talking about Black Swan and Center Stage. There are spoilers. If you haven't seen these movies, I highly suggest you check those out before you watch my video, because I'm definitely going to be spoiling some parts of the end. Like I said, both Black Swan and Center Stage share a lot of commonalities. Their stories themselves are quite different. In Black Swan, we meet Mia Sayers, who is a prima ballerina in New York City dancing professionally, and she's going after the coveted role of the Black Swan. And in Center Stage, we follow Jodie Sawyer, who is a wannabe professional ballet dancer, freshly out of high school, that gets into the American Ballet Company, and it's kind of her trials and tribulations of how she gets into the company along with her circle of friends. Quite different, pretty much polar opposites. Black Swan is kind of this dark, intense, almost horror dance movie, and Center Stage is this like sugary sweet early 2000s gem. While at face value you don't see anything that's similar, when you dive a little bit deeper you notice that both of these dancers are pretty much battling the same issues. What I think is interesting is in ballet, it's so structured and disciplined and strict and serious, and I feel like that is clearly displayed in any movie that you watch about ballet. To me, the center point of both movies is the relationship between a dancer and the instructor and or choreographer. To me, in order to create great art, you have to have a good connection with the people who are performing and the people who basically oversee the performance and make sure it turns out the way it's supposed to be. In Black Swan, we see that her relationship with the director, choreographer, is kind of strained from the jump.
Come on! The foot's out like a spider spinning a web. Attack it! Attack it! Come on!
Very ambitious, and he's very narrow-minded, as I would say with most people in power in general. No, not really gender specifically, but anyone with a lot of power in a system like that probably looks at themselves a little bit differently. Nina is auditioning. The first thing he says is she dances the White Swan beautifully. If that was the only part he was casting, she was for sure in. But from the jump, he doesn't really believe that she can necessarily hold the caliber of the Black Swan, because she's just not as in touch with her emotions when she's dancing. I really want to be sensitive when I cover this topic, because I feel like it's kind of a triggering situation. But essentially, he uses his power and position to kind of sexually assault her numerous times throughout the movie.
Want to be perfect.
Perfection is not just about control. The audience, transcendence, and very few have it in them.
I think I do have it in.
Ah! You bit me?
Will help her connect with her sensuality and seductress side of her, but it's not a ethical or legal or the right way to handle it. I think that Black Swan deals a lot with possible mental illness, but they never quite dive into it or never really explain it. I think that what he does essentially triggers her going off the rails. And although at the end of it, she dances the Black Swan equally beautifully, if not more beautifully, more emotional, she also has basically killed her old self to become it. So I wouldn't say his teaching methods are exactly perfection. And when we look at the other side of it, in Candyland, Center Stage Land, we also see Jodie struggling with her instructor and choreographer. Invited to join this academy, they see something in her. Even at the auditions, they mentioned that she doesn't have great feet or great turnout. Right off the bat, they notice this, but they see something in her that is just beautiful and lovely to watch, so they ended up inviting her to this company anyway. But what that means is it's also going to be twice as hard for Jodie to stand out or to get good parts because she needs to catch up on where she's at technically. Kind of played out by her constantly being berated by her teachers and constantly on top of like, you've got to keep practicing, you've got to improve this. If you don't improve this, you're not going to have a future in dance. I think some people do a good job at trying to come at her in a way that's like makes her understand we're doing this to better you and not that there's something wrong with you in the first place. Whereas when she's talking to, oh my god, I forget his name, Dad from the OC, fill it in somewhere, he's very just abrasive, just like you're not where you need to be, it's time to go. And that's pretty much his stance, is that he doesn't have time for second chances. You need to get it done now or you could basically pack your bags and leave. So I swear the world of dance is so scary and crazy. So in Center Stage, we do have kind of a teacher-student love interest thing going on, but it's not exactly the same thing as with Black Swan. Ends up sleeping with him, but he's not her direct supervisor, and they also, like, when it happens, they meet outside of class, so I feel like it's a slightly different situation. He doesn't really use his power to seduce her, he's just kind of nice, and she's like, cool, because she's in awe of him. So while I think both movies choose to handle these issues extremely differently, they also have extremely different outcomes. I don't think either way is an ideal situation you'd want to be in, although I'd obviously take the Center Stage situation over the Black Swan one. Another similarity that I saw between these two movies was how they dealt with body image and eating disorders. That was something that was really prevalent, I thought, in both movies. In Center Stage, we see Maureen, the top dancer of this company. She's been coming for numerous years and definitely is the next to be promoted into a professional position, is battling an eating disorder. At some point, her boyfriend kind of catches her in the act and confronts her about it. They didn't brush it under the rug, they didn't shy away from it, they dealt with it.
Eric got injured today. And do you know the first thing I thought when I saw him go down? I wish that was me. It's not a normal reaction. How much of what you liked about me was because I was a ballet dancer, and how much because it was me?
The end of it, she ultimately did what was best for her, and she stepped away from dance because that wasn't her passion and it was making her sick. And I thought that that was really cool. You don't really see too many stories with a happy ending or with notes of like, it can get better. I thought that was like a really great portrayal. But then when we cut over to Black Swan, they do hint at the fact that Nina is also suffering an eating disorder, but they never really delve into it. But they do talk about body image, and especially age. Age is a big thing in both movies, is that they talk about a dancer's only valuable in her youth, essentially. And there's no like positive ending to this, it's just a fact of dance, you know, especially ballet. It's really hard on your joints, it's really hard on your feet, and it's not realistic to be able to do it forever. So there's always this embedded fear that you've got to get everything perfect, you've got to get the parts, you've got to do everything now, because at some point you're not going to be able to do it anymore. There's also another big theme I noticed throughout these movies. I like to call it the crazy parent effect. It's a trope that they use in so many athletic movies. You can see it in Friday Night Lights, or Ice Princess is a really good example of where one of the parents is vicariously living through their kids' youth, essentially.
But I don't want your life.
So things that they wanted to accomplish when they were kids that they didn't have time to or couldn't do or whatever, they kind of embed it into their children as their passion, and live vicariously through them. This is depicted so many times in so many dance movies, but it's very, very much the basis of Black Swan, I would say. We don't really find this out until towards the end, but Nina's mother essentially gave up dance, gave up her career to have Nina because she got pregnant in her late 20s. And oftentimes when women have children is that their entire body anatomy essentially changes, and sometimes going back to your previous life isn't an option. You also don't see Nina having a father figure around, or a father in general, so my assumption is that she's also a single mom. This is also played out in Center Stage between Maureen and her mother. Her mother also gave up her dance career when she had Maureen. You kind of see that she was pushed into dance, and she was very good at it naturally, has a natural talent, but it just wasn't what she had wanted to do.
I know what regret feels like, and I don't want that for you.
That's what ballet would be for me. A life of wishing that I found something I really loved instead of something I just happened to do well. I'm not you, Mom. I mean, you didn't have the feet. I don't have the heart.
Because parents do this, because they force these ideals upon them, the kids never really have a true sense of their own identity. Hence, my theory, the crazy parent effect. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to explore this more. Like I said, I've noticed this in so many movies, like even High School Musical. Troy Bolton's dad, that's like the big thing throughout the movies, is that he doesn't want his son singing. He wants him to play basketball. I was about to say football. I don't sports. And he wants him to go to his old college. And ultimately at the end of High School Musical, we see Troy following his own dreams, but he ends up still playing basketball. And I always wondered, was basketball his passion, or did he just keep doing it because at least it would keep his dad happy? The last big similarity I would say between Center Stage and Black Swan is definitely the ballet. There's so many great moments of where they're actually showing the dance. I love that. I hate when I watch dance movies and it's all just like zoom-ins and like close-ups. I hate that. Let me see the dance. I can't see what they're doing. I can't see how cool it is. I also won't be able to see their passion come through to make the story legitimate. And both of these movies really execute that like to perfection. It is debated how much actual dance Natalie Portman did in Black Swan. I think most of the close-up shots are her, but there was this kind of debate or controversy around the time of the Oscars because it had come out that she did have a double who did the majority of the really intensive tricks when she was the Black Swan, which makes sense because while I do think you can learn ballet at any age, at any time, I don't think you can learn how to be a professional ballerina in a year and a half. But they do a good job of just stepping back and allowing you to see the dance happen as it would if you were an audience member. And Center Stage really goes like above and beyond to do this. A plus side is that they actually casted dancers for most of the roles. Even Zoe Saldana had a background in ballet prior to taking this role. So it's really nice to see that we're seeing genuine dancers both act and dance. I actually think that the girl who played Jodie did an excellent job. I don't know if she continued acting. I don't really know much of her career post Center Stage, but I thought this was a great portrayal. I really appreciate when movies take the people who are really doing it and put them in the movie. It just brings this sense of realness to the whole thing that makes it so much more powerful to watch. Another side note that I really love is I love the ritual of the first day of ballet practice. I love those scenes where you get to see the dancers get ready. So they're stretching, they're getting their shoes all ready, they're like scuffing them up and stuff so that they stick better to the floor. I just love that. And both of these movies have really excellent opening shoe ritual shots. I just love it. I don't know, I'm a film nerd. So that was my first comparison, Black Swan and Center Stage. Those were the things that really jumped out to me as things that were commonalities in both movies, but both movies are very, very different. I don't have a lot more to say about Center Stage. It's pretty much what you think it is. It's a group of dancers and you're watching them move through their trials and tribulations while trying to be professionals. And it's a really great, I don't know, it's a really fun watch. And Zoe Saldana's in it, like pre-Avatar, pre-Guardians of the Galaxy. So you should check it out for sure. And Black Swan is just incredible. I can't say that there's another movie quite like Black Swan. It's literally a a horror dance movie, and it's phenomenal, so you should definitely check it out. Natalie Portman is incredible in it. There's so many other aspects of that movie that I definitely didn't talk about, so if you guys are interested, I'd also love to talk about that more. But let me know what you thought of my video in the comments below. Let me know if you've noticed these commonalities in any other dance movies. If you want me to do more videos like this, please let me know. Do me a solid and drop a like on this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell so that you can be notified every time I upload. That's pretty much all I got. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.